Hey, what is up, lovelies? It is Lynn the Gacha Goblin, and what are we talking about? Of course, we're talking about Love and Deepspace, but particularly Love and Deepspace on male podcasts. Now, I've seen a few, but there's one that I want to talk about in specific. Now, if you don't know who Trash Taste is, I actually don't know who they are either, but I know that one of them is actually a voice actor, like Sea Dog something something, and then there are these two other gentlemen here who I'm not really sure who they are. However, as you can see from, if you can see it, they talked about Love and Deepspace on their full podcast and then did a highlights video centering their conversation only on Love and Deepspace. Now, this is not the first time that they've actually talked about lads on their YouTube channel. They actually invited this gentleman's, I think his name's Gitguk's wife, Sydney Snap, I think that's her handle. If I scroll down a little bit, this is her, and this is the podcast where they talk about, Love and Deepspace. And I didn't want to cover it on my channel, mainly because Sydney's explanation of what Love and Deepspace was mainly that she plays for the Gunnar aspects of the game, right? Now, we have to all agree that ever since Catch 22 came out, Love and Deepspace can undeniably say that there are Gunnar elements to the game. It is not necessarily a Gunnar game. It has Gunnar elements, though. So she likes to focus on all of those things, and when they were asking her about what the game is about and all of those, she doesn't actually pay attention to the lore. She didn't give kudos to the writing as much as the animations and the experiences that you can have in the game that are Gunnar-esque, which made somebody named Emily very upset. Now, I don't know which Emily this is, so I'm not gonna say. They were just saying Emily. And I just kind of want to give you guys the background of what exactly happened before this particular video, because after this, my opinion of them has changed in a positive light. Now, I'm not exactly the most pleased about the title of the video, because the title of the video is "We Played the Most Cursed Hentai Games and Regret It," because actually, going into this video, I was very, very nervous about what they were going to say, what kind of coverage they have, because clearly they have quite a lot of people following them. They have 1.65 million people subscribed to their channel, and they have quite a lot of views on each of their videos. Now, I want to preface this by saying I didn't have the best opinion of them or their opinions about Love and Deepspace going into this video, because they had, the generic opinion of, oh, Love and Deepspace is a gooder game, yada yada, all of those shenanigans, which part of me has to accept. Like I said, there are Gunnar elements to the game, and if you only know that, and if you're only introduced to that, you would immediately assume that Lads is a Gunnar game straight up, which is what I believe Sydney did as a huge disservice to the game, where, she didn't explain everything, or at least provide all of the information. She only gave her point of view and like what she likes, and that's fine, but I feel like if you're trying to explain it to somebody who doesn't know the game at all, it's important to give like a fuller explanation of exactly what everything has, what the game is in itself. Now, I'm gonna stop talking in a little bit, and we're gonna watch the portion of this video. Actually, we're gonna watch the highlight, because it's just shorter, and we're going to actually see exactly what they say. And I actually made a comment on this video, so this is the highlight from that same podcast. It was 28 minutes that they were talking about lads, and so Trash Taste were forced to play Love and Deepspace. That's what they named the video. The whole premise of this podcast here was, like, this episode of the podcast was that they played a bunch of Gunnar games, and then they had to, like, rank it and whatnot. And they also played Love and Deepspace, which I was like, okay, interesting. If they played it, they actually gave it a try. I want to know what their opinion is. I know a lot of people are very sensitive towards how men basically view this game, but I have to say, you know, for a full frontal warning here, they are not the target audience of this game. However, I feel like they gave a fair review of the game. And I'm actually very pleased. So if you trust me, in my opinion, hopefully you'll give this a view as we watch it together. So let me just hop off the screen, and I'm gonna put my earbud in, and then we're gonna watch it, and I'll pause and talk and whatnot. So here we go.
But I want to talk about my actual, unironically, my favorite game.
Okay.
Love and Deepspace.
Yes, we finally
played Love and Deepspace. So before I talk about my experience with it, I want to hear your boys' experience with Love and Deepspace.
I mean,
it's a game.
It's a game, all right.
Well, yeah. I was kind of confused because it opened up and there was like a sci-fi story.
Yeah. I was like, did I download the wrong game?
I downloaded the wrong game because it opened up and it was like the wormhole, the gravitational, the deep space.
It was like Mass Effect.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Some things I will say about this game. One, very pretty game. Gorgeous looking game. Two, I like the gameplay, quote unquote, is pretty all right for a mobile game, especially.
Yeah.
I did like how you could customize yourself though in the game.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
I customized it so you can not only customize the look, but you could also customize.
Okay, so disclaimer, Sea-Dog doesn't have like the time, or like he didn't want to really go too deep into all of the different games, so that's why he didn't bother customizing. He didn't, do all of that. He actually quits partway through the game. He was actually waiting to get to the Gooner part of it, which he eventually found out is a lot harder than all of the male version Gooner games out there. But this guy actually, went through it, and so did Gikuk. So
was the voice. And I made my girl sound like she's talking through a fucking McDonald's like drive-through speaker. So the entire time it's like you're interacting with a girl, and she's like, she's like, who's the first girl that you meet, like the short-haired girl? She's like, oh, I see that you're a new cadet as well, and then
Tara?
It's like,
no,
yeah, and it just I can't wait to go on the next thing.
This place is more dangerous than it seems. We should get out of here and think about our next move.
The first couple of dialogues was quite stiff.
Yeah. Right.
I felt like it wasn't very good, and I was kind of like, okay. And the visuals were very, very nice. It was actually kind of I feel like a much better phone experience than an emulator experience.
Yeah. That's probably why it's not available on any emulators.
Yeah.
Any PC clients.
Yeah, I had to kind of emulate a phone on my PC to record it.
Yeah.
And that was kind of annoying. And it didn't really work a great deal on phone.
Yeah. Sure.
But then I was really confused because I met Xavier, and he's very dreamy and very nice and very helpful. And then when I started combat, and I was like, what the fuck?
I'm like, wait, this is a game?
Yeah, I was confused because I was like, wait, this is like a modern mobile game combat system.
Yeah.
See, this is why I feel like Sydney did a huge disservice to the game, because she had the opportunity to tell these guys, like, there's combat, there's like all this stuff, there's like, plus the Gooner stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, they had no idea, and they spoke directly to somebody who played the game, and like, I get it, like, if you're in the game only to experience the Gooner parts, that's you, man, but like, you gotta do the service to the rest of the female players of this platform and just be like, yes, but there's like lore to the story, guys. There's lore to the story, there's battle, there's other stuff that you do. I personally like the Gooner stuff, but there's so much more to the game than just that. Like, she could have explained it like that. I feel like maybe she was a little bit, like, if you watch the video, if you watch the podcast where she's actually talking about it, she seems like really nervous and like really excited. So I'm guessing like that's why she wasn't able to fully express her thoughts. But I feel like anybody like moving forward, if if anybody in the audience, in my audience, talks to somebody about the game, you gotta give the full version of the game. You know what? Even if you don't focus on everything, you gotta give the full version of the game. Do a service to your fellow female players, please. So that way we don't get, labeled as just gooners out there. Because I feel like it really, really does just put a bad taste in a lot of players' mouths.
Kind of akin to like Genshin. And I was like, what the fuck
Heck
is
yeah.
this? And I was really confused.
No one's talked about
So I was like,
this.
See
wait,
what I'm
not
saying?
gooning yet?
Yeah.
When do I goon?
I have to work for the goon.
yeah, what the heck? But it kind of made me want to like play more because I
Yeah.
wanted to get to the parts
Yeah.
where I could goon. But I didn't have a lot of time actually, so I had to stop about 25 minutes in.
I couldn't get to any goon scenes.
Well, a kid came on screen and started talking, and I closed the game. I was like, no, I'm done. I don't want to hear this kid talk.
Okay, one thing I will say about this game is that it throws so much at you right from the get-go.
I feel like this is a problem with most gacha games.
Yeah.
though.
There was like
Where-
50 menu options, and I'm like, where is the goon? In this
I am
sea of
looking to
menu,
goon. When do I
I'm
goon?
trying to find where are the goon scenes that I keep seeing in the ads and that people keep talking about.
Exactly.
And I was-
The ads do this game such a freaking disservice. And like the ads themselves, like they keep running Catch 22 as an ad. And I feel like at this point, the reason why they came out with that multi-banner was to use it in the ads. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy because they're luring you in with Catch 22, but you can never play that again. You can never experience that or pull for those cards again until a rerun comes out. Like it's such a scammy ad thing that they do. And like Infold, guys, look, Infold is crazy.
It's like clicking through. I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking customize my room. I don't give a shit. Let me goon.
Yeah. So to preface one thing, so Sydney's episode came out. We talked about Love and Deep Space.
Yep.
We also had Emily on as well, and we didn't talk about Love and Deep Space. So when Sydney's episode came out, Sydney got like 50 angry messages from Emily.
Wait, why?
being like, how dare you don't talk about the gameplay or the lore? What do you mean you don't care about the lore? It should have been me, not you. How dare you? They wanted to talk about Nosferatu. I don't give a shit about Nosferatu.
Emily was annoyed we didn't talk about Love and Deep Space.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Emily was so annoyed that we didn't talk about Love and Deep Space, and she hasn't forgiven Sydney since.
Okay.
For their episode, because Emily did actually want to talk about how much she loves like the lore and the characters and the
Which is so
gameplay.
funny because Sydney was like, I'm there for the goon.
Yeah, I just want to goon.
Love
Yeah.
the
Yeah, like there are two different players, you know what I'm saying? Like there are two different players and it's okay. It is okay if you want to focus on one aspect of the game. But like guys, seriously, we gotta explain the game fully because men just don't understand. They already don't understand females biologically and mentally and emotionally. Let's try to take it easy on them and like explain fully about everything else.
goon.
Because
man.
I was curious about your guys' experience, because I'm sure what I've realized talking to Sydney was the gooning is actually a very, very small part of the game.
Yeah.
Very,
Yeah.
very.
That's why I was disappointed.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was kind of pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
disappointed.
You're pleasantly
Because I wanted to
surprised.
goon, but I understand I had to work for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
I think that's fair.
really
That's fair.
really have to work for it. And so she was telling me like some of like the more spicier scenes, you have to like really get to know the characters, and from what I understand, get close to their bonds and increase their level to get some of like the better dates, and some of them are part of gacha systems as well.
Yeah, you can also like pay to goon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved how I went to one of the stores and I noticed the system was called Privilege. What? And one of the paid currencies just had the tab Privilege. And I was like, that's so fucking base.
If you guys don't remember what tab that is, it's the tab with the arm pass on it.
Build up the privilege.
I was like,
meter.
that's so honest. Yeah, this is a privilege. Spending this much money to goon is a privilege.
How do you gain privilege?
is.
With money. Real money.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Is that what the currency in this game is
No,
called?
but one of the tabs was labeled that.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
Wait.
what are you doing? What are you trying? The Google Drive?
Yeah, Google Drive.
Yeah, I don't know why that mouse is like giga-fucked.
All right. Yeah, this mouse is.
I don't know what's wrong with it.
Is it just out of battery?
Could be.
You just reset it, right? We did the new batteries.
Yeah, because I want to show you
Oh,
boys.
there we go.
I want to show you boys what I experienced.
Okay.
Sure.
Because I didn't actually. I assumed you guys would experience the game yourself.
Yep.
Whereas I
Your
asked
backseat.
Sydney just to show me the world.
Oh, you recorded the mobile? Oh,
Yeah, because I couldn't get the emulator working.
it was
so-
janky as fuck for me.
Yeah, so I
Really?
recorded
Works
on.
well for me.
I think it was the emulator I was using.
Shit.
Well,
How do I? How do I rotate this? Because it's
you'd
on
have
an
to
iPad.
download it to do that. It's fine.
it's fine. We can see it.
I get it. I get it.
Okay. So we can.
What the?
Whoa!
So I was like, okay, Sydney, I'm sure the boys are gonna get a part of the gameplay, get a part of the world. Show me what you have spent money on.
Yeah.
Specifically what you have spent money on.
Sure.
So she was like, okay, let me show you this memory. It's called Memories here. Let me show you this memory
Okay.
with Zane.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And
Let's watch.
and so
I
one
can already see Zane is wearing his military gear.
yes. So luckily we had to, probably better that we record the iPad separately so you don't hear me and Sydney screaming in the fucking background. So here's okay. Let me set the scene.
Okay.
First thing that surprises me, right? I start it instantly. No gooning. Actually, there's backstory.
Ooh.
There's
Oh god, it's like the bad hentai where they have 5 minutes of text on the screen.
No,
explaining the
they're
plot.
literally. You have to work so much for this. There is so much backstory, so much story before you get anything close. And I don't understand the full context of this, but the guys, apparently this is some
Okay,
alternate-
this is so funny to me. This is so because I didn't even think of this when I started playing the game for this banner, but this is something that the men caught on to.
universe or something.
Okay.
Because in maybe, as Sydney was explaining, Emily can probably do a better job, but in this universe, in the Goon universe or whatever scene,
The Gooniverse, I think we
the
call it.
Gooniverse,
Oh, I like that.
the
got a good ring to
Gooniverse, the guys are different than the guys in the universe that
Of course,
you're in,
naturally,
of
'cause
course.
that's how you can have all the fantasies.
Because
What?
because in this universe, the men are referred to as predators.
Like I didn't even realize that. Like it is so isn't it bad that the men are called predators? So, when they started cracking up, I was like, why are they laughing? And then I thought of the word and I thought of real world stuff and I was just like, oh my god, how did I not know?
No fucking way. Okay.
So you can see
Making
a lot.
an ordinary citizen and a predator tightly embracing each other.
Oh my god.
What? Did nobody flag that? Maybe we should have changed the word.
But they're not predators in game. They just in this universe.
In this universe.
Just in
I
this
don't think they should be
universe.
predators in any of the universes.
In the alternate universe, they're a predator.
Please use the word universe.
The Gooniverse, excuse me.
The Gooniverse, yes. So all the men here are predators,
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna use Gooniverse. I like Gooniverse.
and
Don't say that so casually.
Diabolical.
that's it literally says it right there. So yeah, you can see as I'm
Okay.
skipping through here just how much storyline you get to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're
And then,
setting up the world and
and
everything.
then out of nowhere pops this fucking scene.
Okay.
This background.
that? Is that a
so we go from
cage?
a nice bedroom right here
To the cage.
to a fucking 50
bird
Shades
cage,
of Gay. 50, sorry, 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah. Yeah, I had it right the first time, don't worry.
God's Freudian slip.
50 Shades of Gay.
My bad, guys. My bad. To this 50 Shades of Grey ass fucking torture dungeon. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what is the fucking
Okay, I'm gonna actually forward this because they like to talk about nonsense, but they're talking about Zane here. If you want to watch the whole video, I'll leave it linked in the description box. But basically, they were talking also about like this little bit here.
It's intense.
Okay.
Holy fuck.
Oh my god, the animation.
Yo, right? Right?
This is insane animation. What in the actual fuck?
Audio only listeners, I'm sure you're having a great
I'm
time.
so sorry,
right
audio
now.
only listeners. We're watching a man being tied down to a chair, being
But-
pushed around.
But oh, okay. So there's actually quick time events to this. I was so invested that Sydney had to do the quick time events
Oh
for me
my
because I kept
God.
fading them.
Stay back.
Because if you fail the quick time event, he's gonna bite you. You know, because he's going into like
What if I
frenzy
want
right
that?
now.
What if I want
That's
that?
the thing.
Yeah, how hard of a bite are we talking? I don't know what I'll do to you.
Oh.
Oh, it's stroke the nib.
Yeah. Now you got to
Flick the
stroke the
nip,
nip.
flick the nip,
Flick the nip. Flick the nip. Right.
Oh, okay. I can't show this part because I feel like I got flagged one time, so I need to like forward this. Okay.
You want me to submit?
Oh my god.
All right, let's go to their closing thoughts. Because I don't think that they could focus and actually talk about all of the other stuff they wanted to say. But throughout the entire time that they were looking at the kindled moment part, they were saying like giving huge compliments to the amount of animation and like the amount of like body tracking and all of those things. They loved how much you had to be involved in the scene, like, you know, rubbing on Zane and like clicking and like the quick time events and all of those things. So let's just continue.
Naturally. Man, they're professional gooners making this game.
This is like
This is peak gooner.
And
That's
that's it.
how was
That's
that?
it?
Huh?
That's it? That's where it ends?
The rest is up to your imagination.
The rest is up to your imagination.
And so how
then,
mu- okay.
and then here's the thing that fucking blew my mind. You get an epilogue.
Oh,
you,
what?
you get an epilogue
After a
about
firm nut.
you get an epilogue and he comes back looking like this. And I'm like,
Is
what?
this the real him? Non-predator him?
I actually don't know.
Right, okay,
But
got
I'm
it.
like, damn, okay.
The lore
okay.
is too deep.
Damn.
Okay. Like he can be your angle or your devil.
So how much would that like in-game currency would I have to roll? To
How much
get
privilege
something
would I
like
need?
that?
to
Okay,
get that?
so the
much
thing that
privilege?
after seeing that scene, number one, I just
Pretty well done. Hey,
I
credit where
just-
credit's due.
absolute cinema.
Credit where
that
credit's due.
was girls.
They got it good, man.
I get it.
We get Sexcalibur and you get this.
And honestly, I'm fucking jealous. I
Yeah.
am jealous. That is better. That is like 10 times better than anything I've experienced.
That was
I'm-
one of
in my
the
Google
that was one of
games.
the sexiest things I've ever seen.
Holy
I'm
shit.
disappointed in guys that we accept.
Yeah.
I know.
We accept
And-
Sexcalibur.
And the thing is, like, that came after so much fucking build up. You
Yeah.
have to like, you know, this is after you get to know Zane. You
Yeah.
actually play the game. You get to know what kind of person he is. You've
Yeah.
gone on like other dates before, and then you get rewarded with that some fucking S tier gooning material. I'm like, holy fucking shit!
They know what they're doing?
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They're doing something right,
That's
guys.
wild.
Guys, we got to be better. What do we get? What the fuck do we get compared to that?
I am so happy, guys. Look, I am so happy that they said something like that because it just makes me feel validated. It makes me feel validated in the level of goon that I enjoy because I know for a lot of females out there that, you know, you need story, you need this connection in order for you to like enjoy the gooning parts. Because if it's just straight goon, it's just like, all right, what's the difference between this and corn? You know what I'm saying? So like having that build up, that story, the lore, it makes you feel so connected to the characters. And I know that that feeds off like the parasocialism of your relationships to the characters, and like it creates this huge like you know, parasocial attraction that can definitely like hinder in real life situations if you're not careful, especially if this is open to very young audiences. But I gotta say, you know what, Love and Deepspace, clap, you know. Like they really know, like the devs really know what they're doing when it comes to building characters and creating this world that we get lost in. And I'm so happy that they do this to such an extent. And I'm so happy that it's so much better than the men's experience. And this is what I get from like all of like the guys who genuinely take the game seriously and play it. Like Nate, who plays this game, when he first started streaming, he mentioned that he enjoys Love and Deepspace because there is a story, there is this connection with the characters, and he gets to know about the characters before he gets to goon with them, and he enjoys that because he said that like games made for men, gooner games made for men aren't like that, and these guys kind of like just reaffirm that, and I'm just, I'm just happy, I'm just happy that girls get to eat, but like we also have to suffer from predatory companies, so I'm really hoping that there's competition that's coming out, but that's a side point.
We have Frank's Adventure in 6 caliber.
Yeah, we get one PNG. That's it.
I was.
Oh my God.
When I was playing the game and we had those text messages.
Yeah.
And they were like, by the way, if you want to see how the other dialogues go, you can just click up here.
Yeah.
And I noticed that, like, obviously because it was the first one, they let you do it for free. But I saw that they all cost the in-game currency.
Yeah.
And I was like, these
motherfuckers.
sneaky boys.
These
'Cause
motherfuckers.
I was like, damn, that's like really smart way of monetizing.
It's-
what
yeah.
people want in the game.
So-
It's the story.
Yeah.
So Sydney explained, so I asked Sydney, is every date scene as saucy as this? And she said, no. Actually, a banner like this is actually pretty fucking rare. So when a banner like this comes out,
You got to roll.
holy
Oh, you're
shit.
fucking, yeah.
I no fucking wonder Love and Deepspace are swimming in money.
Yeah.
Because if something like this
They're swimming in money, but they're not treating their players right. Okay, anyway.
comes along, once in a blue moon, then like
I'm spending money.
If this was like the opposite gender,
Yeah.
holy shit, God, Lord, forgive me for the fucking money I'm about to drop on this banner.
I
man.
feel-
I'm going to have a lot of explaining to do to the
Yeah.
accountant.
I definitely think after this success, we'll most certainly get something like that. Probably, I
Yeah.
think.
I fucking hope so.
I don't think it'll be long until we get.
Bro, as a guy, I want to Love and Deepspace for guys, man.
Yeah.
Holy
Legit.
shit.
You know what? To be honest, I would be really happy if men got an equivalent to Love and Deepspace. Because I think, truthfully, I would be interested in playing. I would be interested in, like, at least seeing the world. And I know for a fact that I would be totally, like, free to play in that. But I want to see the male equivalent. Because I want to know if they're going to do something better, if their, systems in monetization would be a little bit different. And I also want to experience what a guy experiences in their version of Love and Deepspace. I feel like it would be a lot of fun. Because I feel like it would be a really good way of, like, seeing what men want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to, like, hop into the eyes of what men find attractive and all of those things. It's like a psychoanalyzing kind of thing, which I feel like would be so fun. Because there was like that whole thing that went around a few years ago, or I think it's still going on now. Like, men are saying that, oh, if you want to know how to treat a girl, or if you want to know what she likes, or something like that, like in bed or like in courtship, read romance novels written by women. You know what I'm saying? So this is like my version of like, let me play a game made for men on the level of Love and Deepspace, because I want to know like the whole romance period. I don't want to just do the goon. I want to do the romance. So that is my take.
Legit.
And I didn't realize until seeing something like this, this is just on a different fucking level of intimacy than anything for guys.
I'm curious because I didn't see it. Are you able to like play as a guy in this, or just?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I'm not sure. But yeah, because there's a saucy scene like this for all the guys. She showed me one of the other ones as well.
Tender curve.
Oh,
Right. Okay.
this is Is this Xavier?
Same one.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is a
this
different guy.
Yeah, this is a different
really?
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Another
Man,
predator. This is a different predator.
this is a different
Oh, this is the
guy.
one that Sydney was telling us about where you press his dick.
Yeah.
It's just like turn off his nut button.
Yeah, so Sydney in this one actually showed me the bad ending,
Okay.
where what happens if you fit, like, the bad ending is just that he dies. I thought you die?
He dies?
Yeah, he dies.
The predator dies.
Yeah, the predator dies because you have to shoot him.
Oh, fuck.
That's not a very good ending at all.
Yeah, because he goes into a full frenzy and then you have to put him down.
Put him down.
Press the activator. You don't press the activator.
Oh, shit.
Damn, the music's good.
Yeah, like
You'll never fly away, my little bird.
Oh, fuck. I'm feeling things.
right, right.
Damn.
Holy fuck.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
It's honestly impressive.
I was
Yeah.
unfamiliar with your game.
yeah.
Honestly.
Girls, we were unfamiliar
I'm
with your
unfamiliar
game.
with the game. You guys
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Like, holy shit, I have nothing but praise to say about Love and Deep Space
Yeah.
after experiencing that.
Just don't put too much of your wallet on the line.
Yeah, aside from
Don't
that,
forget, gooning is free
100%
most of the time.
true.
Exactly.
but gooning this intense is
I'm sure you can just watch these on YouTube or on other websites too. If you didn't want to.
I don't know.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Not the same. You gotta work for it.
No, it's like
Oh yeah, I got to put money down
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
Okay.
it's like when you go to like, you never played a Persona game, but like you could, if you want to see the climax of a romance, of a romance tree, you could just watch. You could just pick one girl and then watch the others on YouTube. But I've done that, and it just doesn't give you that same satisfaction.
Yeah.
you know.
I don't want to vicariously see someone going through something like
Yeah.
that. It's like, I want to
Yeah.
be a part of it.
Yeah. You want to get to that point yourself because
Yeah.
you fucking earned that shit.
Exactly.
That's what gives scenes like this power.
Exactly.
That's what gives the goon more power. That's
It also gives the FOMO more power. I've gotta say that. Gotta say that.
it's
Ultra instinct goon.
So needless to say, I guess Sydney was very excited to show you this.
I mean, I kind of had to force her because she's outing herself.
Oh wow! Yeah, I saw her tweet that people were getting annoyed at her, saying you're cheating on Khan. How is that? How is that possible?
Which is insane.
yeah, why
Yeah,
do people
yeah.
think that playing a game like this is cheating?
No, I
Oh
don't.
my god, this is actually one of my favorite parts of this video. Let's watch this and I have commentary.
I don't know. I mean, she respects what the people I pull for in my gacha games as well.
Exactly.
You know?
It goes both ways.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I can understand if someone's in a relationship and that's how they feel about these kind of things, sure. But that's
Yeah.
an agreement that you're a boundary you both set. Like, it's,
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
why would you apply that to everyone else?
And if you're cool with it, then whatever, you're cool
Yeah,
with
man.
it.
Yeah,
I think most people know that it's just a fucking game. It ain't that
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
I don't feel threatened by Zane or Xavier or whatever the
I
fuck.
don't feel threatened by these predators.
Yeah.
I'm not a predator like them.
You know, it's always like when I feel like if guys ever get self-conscious about this stuff, it's like, look, you have to take out the trash, you have to do the dishes. These are things that don't exist in this fantasy world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We live in the real life where it's never this saucy. It's never like this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just not reality, and
Exactly.
you shouldn't
Yeah.
feel threatened because that's all it is—a fantasy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The same way that I'm sure that pulling a 5-star in this game is a fantasy. You
Yeah.
shouldn't, don't do it. It's
Yeah.
not worth the money is expensive.
Exactly.
But
See, that's what I really appreciate about that kind of like outside view, because a lot of people in this community kind of shame others who have relationships. They're like, why are you playing this game? You're in a relationship. And I'm just like looking at these comments, I'm like, why? What? That's the stupidest thing. Like, what does me playing Love and Deep Space have to do with like my relationship or anything like that? As long as you have that conversation with your partner, as long as you're open and you have boundaries and you establish those things, playing a game like this should never threaten your relationship. That goes both ways, and it's just kind of crazy to me that there are people in this space and people outside of this space who say those kind of things, and I'm just sitting here like, I know so many people who are happily married in this community who are the nicest people, and yet there are these, I don't know, maybe they're single, maybe they're young, but one thing for sure is that they're insecure, who kind of like get upset about other people's business, basically. So like, I don't know. I just appreciate that they mentioned something like that.
Yeah, I was after experiencing Love in Deep Space. I do want more material like this for guys.
Yeah.
I obviously we've talked about the difference between girl gooning and guy gooning, and girl gooning just seems a lot more emotionally intense.
They gotta figure it out.
They got it figured out. But I'm like, as a guy, I'm like, if I just wanted a quick goon, I could just watch a fucking 5-minute video or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got low attention span.
Yeah. We got low attention spans. But
comes
this kind of experience, I'm like, shit. I'm curious. You have my attention, and I would love more experiences
Especially
like
if
this.
it was this well animated and this
Right?
well voiced.
Right?
Like, I would totally be into it.
Out of context, you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't watch this in public. But like in private, I'm like, all the fucking way, baby.
Bro, everyone's gooning
Under the
nowadays.
covers in
It's
the
like,
dark.
it's like, Zane, stop. Stop, Zane.
You're about to make me act up.
Oh God! Let me rub your nipple more.
Fucking hell.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that was every gooning game that we played. Unironically, I could see myself playing something like Love in Deep Space. That seems. I mean, I wouldn't even call it a gooning game, like you said. It's
It's a game for gooners.
Woohoo!
yeah.
A game for
Yeah,
gooners.
it seems like the kind of game that would get you maybe in the mood, and then you'd maybe do whatever it is you need to do
Yeah.
to satiate your frenzy,
Yeah.
if you will.
Fuck.
I mean, guys we're so simple. It's like 5 minutes and I'm done.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like,
It's like PNG. I'm satisfied.
yeah, you're like memory. We're such simple things.
Yeah.
All right, so that was their video covering the whole thing. And I gotta say, I really, really enjoyed this. Oh, I forgot to show you guys, but I actually made a comment under this video. If we scroll down here, so this is my comment here. So as someone who covers lads, I've got to say my expectations were low jumping into this video, but honestly, as far as reviews go coming from men who aren't the target market, this was a really good review. I saw the other clips of when they covered this game and I was like, yeah, they won't know until they actually play, so I'm happy they actually took the time to try it out. Muchos kudos. Thanks for giving your honest review of the game, and hopefully a more heartfelt game for male gooners comes out too. So yeah, that was my little take on it, and quite a few people agreed with my little video here. My little comment. So yeah, I'm pretty happy that they actually played the game, that they actually formed their own opinions, not just listen to rumors or biased opinions, unintentional biased opinions. And they have some respect for the game, and also that they're hoping for something that is equivalent for men to come out and play. I would totally play it just to see what it's like. And that's pretty much it. That is all I wanted to share with you guys. I'm happy that there is, at least a group of men out there who have a positive view on lads. So, like, not all men are judgy. Maybe just most men on Twitter, but definitely not all men, especially if they try the game. They would be so jelly that they don't have something that we have. Anyway, that is pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you would like, go check out this video, check out the video where Emily came up, and I don't know, give it a like. It's a pretty interesting podcast, to be honest. They cover anime too, and different games and manga as well. It's quite nice. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I am Lynn the Gacha Goblin, and I will see you lovelies in the next video. Bye bye now.